The date was, I think, about November 6th when this all started. I was touring around a multiplayer server known as the Shadow Realm. I'll kind of put a little logo up. It was basically an online server for a lot of vintage story people that just kind of want to create like an RPG fantasy. There's some roleplay elements to it. It's a very good server. I highly recommend checking it out. This isn't a plug. I'm just letting you all know. But during this time, I was touring the server with an individual called Otter, or Otter EPB. That's their tag on TikTok. But we were traveling around the server, and I decided after seeing somebody try to replicate a dwarven hold or a dwarven stronghold, I decided that I was going to try to do Minas Tirith, or Gondor, as it's known as more commonly, from Lord of the Rings on this server. Obviously, this didn't work out in the end because I was talking with the server owner, and the server owner basically said that I would have had to either make my own mountain, which probably would have been easier with the amount of people that were on Shadow Realm, or I don't do it at all. Because realistically, the height of this thing is very tall, and I tried to make it 1-to-1. That's what I wanted to do. So we decided to move away from Shadow Realm. At this time, my public server was also thinking about wiping. What a perfect opportunity, right? This is the story of how I got started on this mega project. What's kind of frustrating to me is that the official construction for this project started somewhere around the 19th of November. I unfortunately lost most of the footage here, but I am able to pull up some TikToks and everything else. I can't seem to find this footage, mainly probably just because I lost it like an idiot. But I first started on the construction of Ramas Ekor, which is the outermost wall of the city of Minas Tirith. Now, I'm not the biggest Lord of the Rings fan, right? Obviously, I don't know everything about the entire book series and everything else, but I do own the Silmarillion. The largest problem that I had with constructing this city was, of course, getting the data correct. Online, I saw many sources stating that the height and width of this castle is anywhere from, oh god, like about 600 meters wide to being over 300 meters tall. So for those that are American, little over 1,300 feet, something in that ballpark range. But here's the problem, is that Tolkien never really gave a concrete answer, at least to my knowledge from what I'm reading. So I had to basically compile all this extra information and then create a median on my own. This is as close to 1-to-1 as I think I could really make it. However, the hardest problem that I had during the entire construction of this thing was doing this all in survival. Normally with vintage story, you see all these other people do really big elaborate builds. They're always doing it in creative, or they do it on a creative server and then they go build it on their survival world. I didn't do that. I literally did not plan this build out at all. I just went with the flow. And it's worked out pretty darn well. I got a majority of the mountain done. I still need to decorate the front of it and look at some other source material. But overall, the main mountain is done. I'm showing off footage from just the general construction here, but I'm also just going to be kind of going over how the city is laid out. Here's the fun part. I actually found a map key that's actually incredibly helpful that details canals, causeways, dirt roads, fields, ponds, everything, as well as wells, bridges, and on top of that too, structures within the city. So, of course, this includes administration buildings, the alchemists that they would have had, armorer, barracks, the brewer, the brothel, the Fletcher, food merchant, the healer, herbalist, inn, jeweler, lamplight. You get the idea. The problem with this, of course, is getting all of this to fit within the city. Now, of course, God bless the fact that Vintage Story actually allows chiseling. Otherwise, if this was Minecraft, it wouldn't be nearly as good looking. But here's another problem. It's not per se figuring out where structures goes. It's more per se doing the thousands of hours that is going to be required to do the chiseling. I, for one, am not a crazy chiseler, but I do have some absolutely insane chiselers that I know within the server. These people are absolutely fantastic, and I definitely think they're going to be of great help. But back onto the survival thing. This build is going to take a disgusting amount of resources. Thankfully, I've been gracious enough to have had most of these resources donated by external factors, so other people on the server that are donating tools that they don't want, or those that are just willing to help with collecting materials in general. Now, obviously, I don't have absolutely every single resource collected. This is obvious from just the video that I'm posting right now, but I have gotten the mountain done. What you're seeing at the moment is me collecting chalk. This is our chalk mine. By the way, this was when it was relatively small. Now it's expanded by, oh god, a couple thousand blocks. But to my knowledge, currently the mountain has eaten up over 50,000 chalk blocks. This isn't including the back of the mountain that isn't done as well. But this only becomes more of a problem when you realize that we're making our walls out of ancient pillar segments because we have the Better Ruins mod, which allows us to craft this block. All in all, this build is probably going to take up this entire desert worth of chalk and more. You guys obviously don't have to help or anything. This is more so just for your viewing enjoyment. But if you would like to join, I'm just going to link a bio. I'm kidding. But this build is a passion project. I'm doing this more so for fun and for enjoyment for myself because I've always loved the Lord of the Rings movies. Especially ever since I was a kid, this is something that I've had a lot amount of passion for. And I loved logging on to the old Minecraft servers that had these giant builds from Lord of the Rings on them and just exploring them for hours on end. Now, I want to be able to recreate this city with more detail than I was able to even see on those Minecraft servers. Again, the problem is that I obviously don't have nearly as many people that are willing to join and help. If you enjoy Lord of the Rings and you enjoy this kind of stuff, seriously, if you want to, you can join the Discord and talk with other members about it. I don't know who I'm going to be handing this project off to meanwhile I'm gone, but I would like the project to continue. Vintage Story is getting a giant update soon, so I don't know how well that'll work with the server, but if possible, and the server doesn't work out or something of the sort happens, I more than likely am more than fine downloading the world, which is about 68, 69 gigabytes, somewhere in that ballpark, and just continue this project on myself. Obviously, this is going to take a very long time. I know I sound like a broken robot whenever I'm saying this, but the whole point of this video is basically just to update you, the viewer, because some people have been asking about it. They want to see the progress and everything else. And I can't exactly post this video on TikTok, right? Because TikTok is going to cut this up into 8 things and it's just going to look terrible. So, hello, those that are from TikTok. This is mostly the finished product. I am going to be taking majority of the footage, speeding it up, and posting it on here. So there will be parts of this video that are just straight silence. I will probably let you know when that comes up. But for right now, this is more so just kind of me talking about the project and discussing overall what the thought process is. The first step, now that we've gotten majority of the mountain done, is to level the outer wall. The problem with this, of course, is that we're going to have to displace a lot of water, and then we're going to have to get a bunch of limestone for the road, because I think that's what the road was. Or maybe it was marble. I can't remember. I'm making this video right now when it's like past my bedtime and I'm ready to be done. But first step is obviously leveling the entire outer wall and then looping it back in on the mountain. This is not really that big of a deal because everybody can pick up a pickaxe and mine, and we could probably get it done in literally under a day. The main problem, of course, is getting everything to be level within the city. So obviously this is a tiered city, which means that everything needs to be at a different tier, and there's going to be interconnected parts and everything else, which is why I'm going to have to be looking at about 80 different blueprints. Obviously this project is still very much so underway, but I've obviously spoken too long. I'm just going to take a majority of the footage, speed it up, put some music behind it so that way you guys can watch me scurry around like a little ant. And that's it. I'll probably interrupt during some parts and explain some stuff, but from here on out, it's just mainly going to be a time lapse. Let's go. Now, I do want to bring attention to this because you can see it a couple times in footage. Our server does have dragons, so I don't know why I wasn't using my dragon for most of this. Mainly just because I thought it was easier. I don't even know why. But I'm flying around in spectator and creative in some of these clips, mainly because I want to get a better look at this. Obviously, I don't use it to cheat in any items, but if you have a keen eye, you've probably seen it. So that's just a quick little explanation. This clip right here that you're probably watching right now is me finishing the right-hand side of the mountain. So the rest of the footage is going to be left-hand side, and then the rest of the roof. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's one side done. Good God. Thank you all so much for watching this video. It means a lot to me, even if it's 1 view to 2 views. Doesn't matter. It means the world that you guys have sat down and taken time to watch my pretty crappy video that I've made on this project. But it's still going strong. I'm still planning to complete it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see everybody else later. Bye-bye.